of this match. First referee is Joy De Imus. Second referee, Mr. Patrick Alan Castillo. Introducing the starting lineup for Vanguard Volleyball Team. Calling on their team captain, number 6, Ron Villegas. At number 3, Jones Kamaganakan. Wearing jersey number 11, Razel Palisok. At number 16, Clark Fernandez. Jersey number 19, JD Diwa. Number 24, Vince Abrot. Starting libero is number 8, Rek Alfaro. Head coach is Mr. Ejen Mabayad. Presenting the starters for AMC COTABATO Spikers. Calling on their team captain, number 7, JV Sumagaysay. At jersey number 2, Wewe Medina. Wearing jersey number 6, Rex Ital. Jersey number 11, Joshua Umandal. At number 13, Sian Silang. Wearing jersey number 17, Madslang Gampo. Starting libero is number 18, Jelex Mendiola. Head coach is Mr. Oji Mamon. This is match number 54 between Vanguard Volleyball Team and the AMC COTABATO Spikers. May the best team.
Take a look at the starters for the Vanguard Volley hitters. Palisok, Kamag-anakan, Diwa, Fernandez, Abrot, Villegas, and Alfaro. Meanwhile, for the COTABATO Spikers, Gampong, Sumagaysay, Medina, Umandal, Intal, Silang, and Mendiola. As we welcome you all to our coverage live on One Sports Plus. This is the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference. Dip Dipianco alongside Ayel Estranero calling this match. And of course, Ayana Perlas is our courtside reporter who will give us the reports and updates later on. Aside from the game at hand na nabanggit natin, Ayel, COTABATO wanting a win to seal their semi-slot. Vanguard wanting to, of course, end their conference on a high note. Yung mga top spikers dito, they're number 4, talking about Jao Umandal, and number 5, si Vince Abrot. So, should be exciting to watch.
So, we're expecting both players, Abrot and Umandal, to carry the load of the scoring for their team. But again, volleyball is not a one-man team.
Right.
For them to be able to get a win today, everyone really needs to contribute.
So first point went to COTABATO early on. They go to Umandal, and down it goes for Jao Umandal.
No, and we know Jao Umandal will be showing up big today as he scored his highest output of the conference in their previous game against PGJC Navy. But Jao Umandal would want to seal that semi-final spot.
But a service error there for Wewe Medina gives Vanguard their first point.
No, Medina scored 13 points in their game against PGJC Navy, putting a lot of help for Jao Umandal.
Right. Sumagaysay unable to get that to Jap. Villegas sets it up, denied. But there was a violation on that block attempt. So Vanguard has only one win so far here in the conference, which is against NU.
So it's safe to say that they are really the underdog in today's game because they are in the bottom of the standings.
Right.
Meanwhile, COTABATO on top with Signal, Imos, and Iloilo, but a miscue there between Silang and Sumagaysay.
Just one loss so far for this COTABATO Spikers team, which came in the hands of Signal, who's still undefeated.
And still not dropping a set this conference.
Correct. You'd think it was COTABATO who would get at least the first set, pero hindi pa rin. As Umandal again gets his second point of the match.
But the fast, low sets from Silang is really working well for Umandal, always beating the blockers and maximizing the spaces between the blockers to score a point.
Oh, and that's an ace for JV Sumagaysay.
So far, they are targeting Vince Abrot, trying to make him work in today's game. And service reception is one of the weakness of Vanguard.
Right. And that's a powerful spike coming from Palisok.
A lot of power there. And that cross-court attack from Palisok. Going straight to Silang. Silang couldn't contain that attack.
4-all here in set number 1. Vanguard sticking close to the Cotabato Spikers. Kamag-anakan will serve. Easy pickup, easy receive by Umandal. They send it to the right side. And that's a point off the block for Mads Gampong.
Gampong there scoring a point off the hands of Abrot. You know, expecting Gampong also to bounce back in today's game, especially that he didn't have the best outing in terms of attacking in their game against PGJC Navy.
Was limited to 6 points. And the miscue on the part of Vanguard.
Well, looks like a miss set there from Villegas. Did not connect with Abrot in that rally.
Well, Vanguard, they've had 8 games so far here in the tournament. Obviously, for a new team like them, chemistry will be something to build on moving forward. Dahil ngayon lang sila nakasali. I mean, Cotabato, they also joined for the first time here, pero naglaro sila sa PNBF last time around.
Exactly, and we know Cotabato is really a powerhouse. You have Intal, Umandal, Gampong, Medina, the leaders of their teams at the collegiate level before.
And some of them have played together also in the national team, diba?
That's true.
And majority of them will play in the national team in the coming SEA Games dahil sila majority yung pool natin. Meanwhile, Vanguard answers back. It was a back set to Fernandez.
Fernandez just delivering, avoiding the block in the rally.
5 serving 7, Palisok on deck. Good receive again. Umandal goes up and down it goes for Jao Umandal.
Again, we talked about Umandal being unstoppable, and he is being unstoppable in the start of the set. As again, he goes to that sharp attack, really powering through the blockers, above the blockers, and within the spaces.
First technical timeout, 8-5 is our score.
You're still watching the Spikers Surf Open Conference 2023. Now, may pasabog ang AMC Cotabato Spikers, a new opposite hitter in Steven Router. Now, Fauzi Ismail decided to leave the team due to personal problems, which is why they acquired Steven. And Steven has been playing with AMC for a total of 2 weeks now. And ang sabi ni head coach Oji Mamon, grabe daw yung lakas that he showed in their scrimmages. A strong server, a strong blocker, and a high jumper. Back to you, Dipanayo.
Well, that's something that we're gonna look forward to seeing, right? Thanks, Ayana, for that update. Unfortunately, wala na si Ismail, but
no, and it's gonna be interesting. That addition is gonna be interesting, especially if they win this game and they enter the semifinals.
Right.
It could be a good addition, especially that we haven't seen action from him in this conference. So, no way for other teams to study his tendencies.
And 2 weeks is maybe a short time, no? Kaya hindi pa siya pinapasok, hindi pa siya pinapalaro. But I'm sure he can bring something to the table for Cotabato. Medina with the attack error, and after the first technical timeout, it's back-to-back points for Vanguard. So 8-all is our score. It's Clark Fernandez serving. Was able to get an attack point a while ago from that quick set Good serve. Gampong from the back row. Almost saved.
Gampong there really bouncing back. Already 2 points for him in this first set. Also contributing from the back row. Good first touch there, but no help on the side of Vanguard.
Rex Intal serving for Cotabato. That's wide for Rex Intal. And it ties the game up once again at 9-all.
And Cotabato is known for a team that is prone to committing a lot of errors. They actually had 32 errors in their previous game. But again, they compensated by doing well in attacking.
They go to Medina. And that's a point for Wewe Medina.
We talked about Cotabato as committing a lot of errors in their previous game. So far, 1 error on the side of Vanguard, already 6 on the side of Cotabato, giving away 6 big points already in the start of the set.
But there's a challenge on the floor for Vanguard. The initial call was inside. So let's see if that challenge will be successful or not for Vanguard, who is actually tied right now with Cotabato. So this point may either get them the lead or it will retain with Cotabato. Ball in, ball out is the play in question.
And so far, we're having a tight first set here.
That's a tight one, but it was called outside.
Almost went in.
Nipis lang eh, no? But point goes to Vanguard and they take the lead.
And again, that was the 7th error of Cotabato.
So 7 out of the 10 points ng Vanguard coming from errors. Silang upset to Sumagaysay, and that's a point.
No, Silang and Sumagaysay actually showing that they have a good connection. Silang has been activating Sumagaysay early on this game and a lot also in their previous game against Navy.
Silang serving 10-all is the score. The bump set to Palisok, the push. Umandal with a fake attack, goes to Medina. Popped up by Vanguard. But an easy over. Chance once again for the black shirts. They go to Gampong. The tip does not work. Palisok this time. And there's a net violation on Sumagaysay.
No, Silang actually had a good first touch in that attack, but Sumagaysay committing an error there, but touched the net on his way down.
A lot of flair also in those plays by both teams, no? May mga fakes. Grabe rin yung hang time. But Vanguard right now, they've built a 2-point lead against Cotabato after trailing to start the match.
Vanguard there just reading Gampong well.
Sumagaysay unleashing his power on that spike.
Sumagaysay also putting big points in their previous game. Already 3 points for him in this set.
The captain doing work. Cotabato find themselves trailing by 1 point. Here comes Vanguard. Saved. And that's a violation on the receive from Diwa.
Diwa held onto that ball too long.
Credit Mendiola though with a one-hand save.
Greater action on the side of Mendiola there.
So Wewe Medina continues to serve. That's way out though for Medina.
Cotabato is giving away a lot of free points here in Vanguard. And Vanguard also just trying to maximize those errors.
You can't let your guard down, right?
Exactly.
Umandal with some hang time on that one, and he scores for Cotabato.
Now Jao Mandal is on the front row. And we know that Jao Mandal can be a scoring machine as he went for that hang time and intentionally used the hands of Palisok to score that point.
13 all, and Sumagaysay gets another ace. He's already had one a while ago.
And targeting the same area, seems like he's been targeting Vince Abrot in that service. Miscue there.
Just as you mentioned, I think they've done a good job on limiting Abrot, no? So far in this first set, hasn't really gotten the touches. Alfaro sends it easily, back set to Intal. And a classic running spike from Rex Intal.
Oh, but Silang also really feeding his middles in this game, realizing that they have a big advantage. Now in the middle attackers, you have Intal and Sumagaysay, very capable of converting a point right away.
Villegas back sets to Palisok, denied at the net.
But again, on the side of Vanguard, you have Palisok and Abrot. Majority of the points, so Cotabato just knows who to guard as two blockers jump with Palisok in that sequence.
Sarado, and we reach the second technical timeout. Cotabato up by 3. Back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center, you're still catching the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference. It's Cotabato ahead by 3 points over the Vanguard Volley hitters. Sumagaysay continues to serve. Villegas sends it to the other side. Palisok was checked. Silang goes to Medina on the second ball. And that works.
And this is the difficult part when you're playing against Cotabato. Whoever Silang goes actually delivers a point as Medina targets zone 5 of Vanguard in that back row attack.
Float serve for Sumagaysay. Wewe Medina unable to get to that ball.
Just right placement there for Palisok. Not the hardest of hits, but just the right placement and spin to score that point off the hands of Medina.
Kamag-anakan will serve for Vanguard. They go to Gampong. And that's inside, a block point for Vanguard.
Now Gampong trying to power through tall blockers. His teammates was expecting that ball to already go out. No coverage on the side of Cotabato.
Silang looks on, back sets to Gampong, and this time he delivers.
Gampong makes up for that point earlier.
Yeah, pinabawi, no?
And great trust from Silang also to Gampong. Like what you said earlier, pinabawi, giving that set again to Gampong.
And the little things also, him looking forward as if he was gonna send it to the open hitters. Pero pinuntahan si Gampong. That's an attack error for Vanguard with 4 touches.
A very crucial moment now on the side of Vanguard as Cotabato trying to pull away here.
Villegas sets up the play. Medyo mababa for Intal. Abrot. Yan and I are letting out a laugh kasi rinig na rin namin si Coach Oji. Sinisinabihan niya dun.
It was Jao Mandal because Jao actually set up Intal in the previous sequence.
So, Ayana's report, very timely a while ago as Rotter checks in for the first time for Cotabato. He has been with the team for 2 weeks, talking about Steve Rotter.
No, Rotter here is playing opposite as Diadante also in the court for the double sub.
We will get to know this guy as he continues to play for the first time. Our first look at his attack there.
Oh, Baba, but it's very obvious that he has the elevation and the extension from the previous sequence.
We will find out. Maybe the other teams, sino pa bang mga kalaban ng Vanguard? I believe they have a game or 2 more left after today. So luxury for those teams na masa-scout siya, no? But unfortunately for Vanguard, sila yung unang trial eh.
Exactly.
Goes for another attack. Check there. Umandal goes to Intal. I'm waiting for Coach Oji to give another comment pero tahimik na siya this time.
No, because it has already been 2 rallies that Jao Mandal has been trying to play setter to the middles, but it's still not working.
And finally, they connect on that one as Intal apologizes. Let's take a look at that play.
Intal trying to go for a quick tip. No, too fast for Abrot to react to.
2-point lead for Cotabato. And the good serve leads to another possession here. Rotter. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, based on the limited information that we have about him, Steven Rotter is listed at 6'5". This though, how powerful his spike is, it's not listed. Nakita lang natin yun ngayon. Timeout called by Vanguard.
Abot mo yun, no? Bawian mo ngayon, ha? Bawi, ha? Alam na yan. Rick, resiba mo para ito, ha? Oh, go, 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 go. Sige, sige lang. Hindi na lang dyan.
O, sigaw ng Japan, ha? Sigaw ng Japan. Japan.
Oh, go, 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 go.
Vanguard! Tata, mabuhi mo si Bea.
And some reminders there on the side of Vanguard. Now at this point, they really have to play perfect volleyball, be more consistent in all skill sets. Now, especially that Cotabato is trying to pull away and just 4 points away from taking the set.
Served there by Umandal. Desuyo sends it to the left side, and that's a point for Nathan Sorio off the bench, who has done a good job really sparking itong kanyang koponan. A chance for us to send this first to Ayana Perlas for this report. Ayana?
Dip and Ayel, let me help you guys out on filling in the blanks about Steven Router. He actually came from the Phil-Am Nation, all the way from the States. And here's a fun fact from head coach Oji Maman. Actually, he's very used to high sets. That's why recently, for the past 2 weeks, medyo frustrated daw siya sa training because head coach Oji's system is all about low and fast sets. But slowly but surely, he will be getting used to those sets. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ayana, for that report. Yun naman pala. So, Phil-Am. Ito si Steven Rotter, and
we know that the system in the US is very much different here in the Philippines. So pretty much the reason why he's still adjusting with the system of Coach Oji Mamon, like what Ayana said earlier, the fast low sets.
Di siya masyadong sanay with that.
Exactly, and that's what is used a lot of times here in the Philippines, both in the women's and men's volleyball.
So a 4-point lead right now for Cotabato. Intal about to serve. 2 points away from taking set number 1. Desuyo. Chance here for Cotabato. Umandal will set up Rotter. And down it goes.
And it's the second time he went to that area.
You can see that he's enjoying his time out there. Even the rest of the players of Cotabato on the bench are pumped every time he gets a touch. Setup job there. And it's another point for Sorio.
Oh, a lot of free points coming from the errors of Cotabato. Majority of the points maybe of Vanguard.
Again, this time it's long for Ratter. So si Dayan Dante has been going to him. But they will challenge that one kung ball in or ball out ba yun.
And that's also one way to start him to really adjust and adapt the system, especially in-game.
So let's see if that is in or out for Cotabato, the attack. Ball in, ball out, that's definitely inside.
And with the height and elevation of Router, it's very obvious that he can really go to the difficult areas of the court.
And set one goes to the Cotabato Spikers. After that challenge was unsuccessful, they will be taking a one-set lead. Set two right after this short break. Back here on One Sports Plus and inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. First set went to the Cotabato Spikers over the Vanguard Volley Hitters. We take a look at the highlights of what happened there. Ayel, it's like Cotabato, they tried to distribute the ball well. A lot of Spikers were activated early on for them.
Exactly. Team effort there on the side of Cotabato in terms of scoring production. We saw Jao Mandal earlier starting strong for Cotabato, Sumagaysay as well, Medina contributing from the back row and Tal scoring also. Rotter also came in towards the later part of the first set but also contributed 3 points. On the side of Vanguard, their defense is being challenged by the good offense of Cotabato. In terms of numbers, we can see that Cotabato really dominated the attacking department and the serving department. 18 attacks for Cotabato, only 6 for Vanguard, 2 blocks for Vanguard, 1 for Cotabato, 2 service aces for Cotabato, none for Vanguard. And again, Cotabato giving away more free points. So majority of the points of Vanguard came from the errors of Cotabato in that first set.
Right, so you can see based on the stats, they don't lie. Attack points were very limited for the Vanguard Volley Hitters. Let's see if they will be able to find a way and bounce back here in set number 2 as we welcome you once again to our coverage here, the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference. Dip Dipianco alongside Ayel Estraniero calling this match, and Ayana Perlas, our courtside reporter, for 3 games. No, nakadalawa na tayo a while ago, and this is the last of our Sunday triple header. We thank you all for joining us. First serve goes to Kim Dayandante. So, nagpalit na rin ng setter itong si Coach Oji Mamon. And right away, this is a free ball for Cotabato. They go to Ratter. This time it's picked up by Vanguard. Tolentino with the approach. Naabot pa dun. All 6'5" of him extending his arms like that. Parang...
No, exactly. It was a matter of extension for Rotter. Read that soft touch
pag
from Tolentino.
Pag tumalon siya, parang naging 8-footer na siya, no? With that length.
Yes.
And another block, this time from Sumagaysay. Says, I can do that too.
No, but the playmaking of the Suyo so far being read well by the blockers of Cotabato. No, earlier Rotter having a block point, now Sumagaysay also scoring from the block.
2-0 to start set number 2. Good serve. They go back to the right side, popped up by Dayandante. Mendiola tried to go through the blockers. I think Cotabato will challenge. Gusto nila bigyan ng maraming points si Ratter, diba? Siyempre, first game niya
And it's their way also, again, trying to help him adapt the system, especially in-game, because it's different when you try to adapt it in training and when you start to apply it in an actual game.
He was quite confident that he was able to hit it off the blockers.
And he was more than capable because he was actually above the 2 blockers in front of him.
Oh, we're gonna take a look at the replay. Looks like it's unsuccessful. So based on the slow-mo, walang nakatama dun sa atake niya. So first point of Vanguard here in set number 2.
On the side of Vanguard, they have to be careful. They need to produce their own points, not rely on the errors of Cotabato.
And that's a net violation on Vanguard. Chart Tolentino.
Rotter there, having a convincing approach, trying to go cross-court, but last minute decided to just drop the ball in, recognizing that there was no one behind the blocker.
That's still good. Medina, nagbanggaan sila doon ni Dayandante. A chance here for Vanguard to take advantage. Tolentino gets a point. Medyo delikado rin yung nangyari doon, no, sa part ng Cotabato.
Miscue between Dayandante and Medina.
He was able to do that in set number 1, no? From the back row on the second touch.
And it has been a thing here in the men's volleyball. A lot of players have been trying to do that, but as Dayandante connects with Sumagaysay, very efficient Sumagaysay so far, really putting in the points every time he gets the set.
You can hear from the sound of that spike how strong that was. And a net touch on Cotabato. Vanguard answers right back.
Again, Cotabato starting to create a lot of errors early on in the set.
3 serving for Dayandante. Goes to Umandal. Who do you guard now if you're Vanguard, right?
Very difficult, as we can see in this rally. Intal pulling in the blocker. Umandal only has 1 blocker in front of him. So much space for that cross-court attack.
First service of Rotter here. That's outside. Oh, bear with us for all the firsts that we'll be saying kasi it's also our first look at this guy. So parang na-impress din kami sa pinapakita niya. Of course, we haven't seen him play. We know who the players are here in Spikers Turf.
And we rarely see a film in men's volleyball. So with him here, There's something to look forward to on the
Oh.
side of Cotabato. A great addition on their side. Osorio there scores a point off the blocks. Ooh.
3-point given up. Jao Mandal will serve. Let's see if Vanguard can get a point here. Sorio goes up. Picked up by Cotabato. Medina will attack. Saved by Tolentino. Sorio again, and it's outside.
Osorio trying to avoid the blockers in that rally. But he was not able to score a point.
So Mandal back at the service line, 7-5. And a service ace for Jao Umandal. Leads us to the first technical timeout, 8-5. This is the jump serve and an ace for Jao Umandal. And they lead this one by 3 points.
You're still watching the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference. Though the Vanguard volley hitters are ending their campaign soon, head coach Edjet Mabayad mentioned that they needed this conference. They learned so much, but the main thing that they learned was that you cannot rush skill, especially that they are a fairly new team. They would only train thrice a week. They rushed their system, their conditioning in 15 days before this conference, so it was really just time and familiarity that lacked for Vanguard. Though now, it is still unsure if they will be joining the Spikers Turf next conference, but head coach Edjet mentioned that they will actually be revamping their lineup if ever they do join next conference. Back to you, Dipanayo.
Thank you, Ayana, for that report. The hang time from Intal with that score. But going back to the information given to us by Ayana, no, it's really evident na you can't rush things, right, Ayala? And for a new team like Vanguard, it's something to learn from. As mentioned by Coach Edjet, if ever they're gonna come back, it will be a new team for sure. They've seen ano ba yung mga kailangan nilang baguhin, kailangan nilang matutunan.
Yeah, and that's the things they learned here by joining this conference. Again, a lot of adjustments are needed on their side. Now, as they are in the bottom of the standings this conference.
4-point lead right now for Cotabato. The setup and the block by Dayandante.
Tedones was under that ball, and it's hard to get past through two tall blockers in front of you.
It's 11 serving 6 here in set number 2. Intal with 3 points so far. Tedones will try to get another one. Free ball by Diwa, and he gets the point.
So Diwa taking advantage of that overpass.
Challenge called by Cotabato after that attack. Gusto nilang tignan if there was actually a block touch.
No, but so far in this set, the strong service coming from Cotabato really challenging the first ball of Vanguard. So it's very obvious that Vanguard will automatically go to their wing attackers.
Let's see if there was a touch. Clearly, there wasn't any. So it's successful for Cotabato. They're able to get the point and extend the lead to 6 points.
But so far, Cotabato already with 21 errors, almost giving away an entire set.
Yeah, that's what's keeping Vanguard somewhat within distance na hindi pa sobrang layo nito. Especially in set number 1, they only won by 5 points itong Cotabato. A timeout called by the Vanguard volley hitters as we listen to Coach Edget's huddle.
Maayos ha. Paratingin nyo lang doon, hindi naman hindi ganun kataas yung bola. Para makapag-play naman sa tatapat sa point. Kasi nangyayari, puro dulo-dulo na tayo, basic na. So madali nang basahin yung play natin ha. Go, go, go.
Now, Coach Edget there asking for a better first ball. It doesn't have to be perfect, but at least not out of system. So they can set up better. Because so far, again, Cotabato doing well on the service line.
The lead is slowly climbing up for Cotabato. 13-6, a good serve for Intal. Kept alive by Vanguard. Chance for the black shirts. Dayandante goes for the spike.
Dayandante wants to be part of the scoreboard. Scoring his first point there.
Look at this. The perfect first ball also for Umandal to be able to do that type of play. Osorio has had trouble receiving Intal's serve, and that leads to the error of Teodones.
Nothing going well on the side of Vanguard so far. They've been having faulty first balls, difficulty to set, a couple of attack errors as well.
Huge 9-point lead and an ace for Rex Intal. His service has been on point, especially after that lone error that he had early on in this match.
Even targeting the libero there on the side of Vanguard, scoring that point off that service ace.
Second technical timeout, Cotabato up by 10. Back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. You're still catching the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference live on One Sports Plus. Rex Intal continues to serve. Teodones. Second try. 1-2 does not work. Teodones ulit. Joust to the net. And Dayandante with the last touch, and it sailed out.
Teodones there. Finally successful to get that point. It's very difficult as well because Teodones is not the tallest of attackers, and you have really tall blockers in front of you.
Running spike by Sumagaysay is also outside, so back-to-back points for Vanguard.
But again, Cotabato still in a comfortable spot here. 8 points lead.
We'll try another one, this time open. And that's a point for Wewe Medina.
A lot of power in that attack. And we know Cotabato as a team who maximizes their height and power to score a point. But also, great setting in Dayandante there. Only one blocker for Medina.
Dayandante will be the one to serve now for Cotabato. Better first ball for Sorio. Teodones tried to go cross court. but it was wide. And lead is back up to 10 points for the Cotabato Spikers.
So far, a dominating set for Cotabato, both in attacking and even on the service line.
Tolentino is blocked, but it was outside.
And this is what Vanguard needs. They need to play smarter, because they can't use just power. Because it's hard to get past through the blockers. But in that sequence, we see Villanueva using the blockers.
So Magaysay again getting a point for AMC Cotabato. Check this one out.
Easy point for Sumagaysay.
That's a point once again for Cotabato, and they reached the 20-point mark. Meanwhile, Vanguard still limited to below 10.
And again, the intimidating presence of the blockers of Cotabato just really challenging the attackers of Vanguard.
I can only imagine how it feels when you're faced with tall blockers in black pa.
Exactly, you really have to play smarter. As Tolentino there, just targeting the corner of Cotabato.
Tolentino with a drop. Natuto na siya, no? Kasi haba nga nung reach ng blockers ng Cotabato.
Tolentino there, just tipping the ball in. And Cotabato not expecting that. No coverage on their side.
Service is out for Teodones. Obviously, the errors have to be limited for Vanguard.
Vanguard here really needs to play consistent at this point. 4 points more for Cotabato to get this set.
And even their top spikers, no, as the point is through for Obay. Yung mga top spikers nila, we mentioned Vince Abrot, but isn't even seeing action right now. He's number 5 in terms of scoring here in the tournament.
As well as Palisok, who is a second option in terms of scoring on their part.
Correct. Palisok is number 21 heading into this match. This guy just playing his first game. If he started out playing this tournament, probably would have been in the top scorers as well here.
Exactly. Great reverse set on the Edante there. But look at that elevation and that extension of the arms from Rotter.
So back to a 10-point lead for Cotabato, but still hasn't gotten a service in. And he will take a breather as Silang and Gampong checks back in.
Now, Cotabato still has the advantage here. They have a complete front row. As for Vanguard, they only have 2 attackers in the front row.
Silang goes to Umandal. Down it goes for Jao Umandal.
Umandal almost playing a quick and that rally. That was a bit of a low set for him, but he was still able to score that point.
Cotabato just 2 points away from taking a 2-set lead. Go to Diwa.
A much needed point there on the side of Vanguard. That slide attack from Diwa, and Silang wasn't ready for that.
Sorio with the serve. Combination play for Gampong. And that drops for Mads.
Gampong scoring a point and that soft touch, but Vanguard should have expected that because Gampong had a blocker in Diwa there.
Intal also drawing the blockers of the white shirts. Cotabato now at set point. Intal with a high arcing serve. Teodones is blocked by Mads Gampong as he scores back-to-back to close out set number 2 and give Cotabato a 2-set lead.
Now, Gampong reading that angle of Gidon as well, closing that cross-court attack, no coverage on the side of Vanguard.
So 2-set lead here for Cotabato. We'll be back with set number 3 after this one. Back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center, you're still catching the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference on One Sports Plus. 2 sets done, and both went to the Cotabato Spikers. As we take a look at the highlights, Ayel, a bigger gap this time around, and we saw Steven Rother see action for the first time. Definitely was an impact in that set.
Definitely an impact, but again, it was a team effort on the side of Cotabato, really closing the angles of the attacks of Vanguard. They did well in the blocking department in that set. Again, Vanguard just being challenged and their first ball, having a difficult time to set up better combination plays. But Cotabato, again, just dominating with their better first ball and better defense. And again, Cotabato, not much of a dominating set for them in terms of attacking. 10 for them, 9 for Vanguard. But again, they dominated in the blocking department and in the serving department with 4 blocks and 2 service aces. 0 for Vanguard in both departments, but both teams limiting their errors. 9 for Vanguard and 5 for Cotabato. And it's very dangerous for Vanguard to commit more errors and give away those free points, because most of their points is already coming from the errors of Cotabato, and they're not producing as much as we saw that attack from Medina. No blockers at all for him. Great combination play for Silang.
Set number 3 underway here. As you welcome me once again to our coverage, Dip Bianco, Ayel Estraniero calling this match. Ayana Perlas as well, helping us out with the reports and updates for both teams. It looks like Cotabato looking good, looking steady, as they just need 1 set from securing their semi-spot. Battle at the net, it's back with the black shirts. The setup there, Gampong unable to get it. Kamag-anakan. Back row attack from Medina. And a net violation on Vanguard.
Already 2 errors for Vanguard.
Three to nothing start here for AMC Cotabato. That is outside, read well by Vince Abrot.
And we can see both teams starting the same starters in the first set. Palisok and Abrot in for Vanguard, and Silang and Gampong starting for Cotabato.
Fresher legs also, we'd think, because nakapahinga eh, yung starters nitong Vanguard, talking about Abrot, Palisok, even Kamag-Anakan, right, was able to get a breather.
As he scored that point off the hands of Zhao Omandal.
So, first point of Vanguard. Pero binawi agad as Sumagaysay gets the point.
But that was just too fast for Vanguard to actually read and react to. A great decision for Silang to set up Sumagaysay.
5 serving 1. Villegas, the setup. Nagkalituhan na dun kung sang side ba nalaglag yung bola.
Zhao Mandal there trying to cover that ball.
Pero nasa side pa ng Vanguard eh, no? 2 serving 5 here in set number 3. Here comes Umandal. Oh, good save! Heads up play there for Villegas.
No, quick thinking by Villegas targeting zone 5 of Cotabato. Medina wasn't ready for that.
Showing us the flick of the wrist and the follow through. 3-5. Umandal. That's an attack error and another point for the volley hitters.
Now Omandal trying to go for a deep cross-court attack with a bit of cut shot there.
Silang is back in the game. Ooh. Baon na baon. Yung atake na yun ni Mads Gampong.
Probably the most powerful attack coming off the hands of Gampong. Great reverse set from Silang. A lot of space for him to go for that cross-court attack.
6-4. Service error for Mads Gampong. Ito na naman, no, with the errors piling up for Cotabato. That's why Vanguard just behind by 1 point. Palisok now serving. Silang goes to Intal. It's kept alive. And Diola with the first ball. Silang again to Intal. Good effort on the part of Alfaro. Their libero. Twice now. But that time around was not able to cover the block.
It was very obvious that they're going to their top scorer in abroad. But it was read well by the blockers of Cotabato. No coverage in that second rally.
Credit that to Regreg Alfaro for extending the rally. And Intal also not giving up, no? Was not able to get it on the attacks, pero sa block niya nakuha yung puntos. Umandal will be the one to serve. That is outside for Jao Umandal.
Actually, almost an ace for Umandal. Just too much angle in that risk action.
Clark Fernandez heads to the service line. Total block points so far, you see on the number 6 for Cotabato, only 2 for Vanguard. Intal likes those types of attacks with his flexibility, able to adjust.
He's been trying to do that. Seems like a no-look attack for Intal.
First technical timeout here in set number 3. Cotabato up by 2.
You're still watching the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2023 live on One Sports Plus. Now, Dipinagel, earlier you were talking about how Vanguard needs to play smarter, and actually in the huddle, head coach Edjet also talked about how they need to play with their minds, their bodies, and their hearts. They are great players individually and they do great in training, but they never get to translate it on the court. Now, head coach Edjet needs extra heart from them this time because they have nothing to lose anyway, but everything to gain. Back to you, Dipinagel.
Thank you, Ayana, for that report. And yun nga, no, yun dapat yung mindset when you're a team like Vanguard, always for the learning experiences.
No, exactly. But more than the learning, one thing that Ayana also mentioned, they're struggling to translate whatever they do in training during games. But in games, it's always a matter of execution.
Yes. Kumbaga, baliwala rin, no? If you're able to do it in practice, but in game, di mo rin na-perform, then might as well, I mean, your coach, of course, wants to see that on the floor. So thank you for that report, and also Ayana helping us with the pronunciations, by the way. No? Kasi nakailang correct tayo dun kay Steven Roter. That's the correct pronunciation of his name, by the way. From California State University and the Phil-Am Nation Select. If you were able to catch him in set number 2. Tignan natin if ibabalik pa siya ni Coach OG Mamon. But Cotabato really on pace to get this job done. But that's way out for Chris Silang.
That was the 8th service error of Cotabato in this match.
Silang looks on, goes to Medina, the push. Back sets to Palisok. Sumagaysay for the coverage. Here comes Gampong. Sharp angle, and it goes in for Mads Gampong.
No, very sharp angle. You said it right. No, very difficult angle to go to, but with the elevation of Gampong, he made it look so easy.
Back to a 3-point lead for Cotabato. Picked up by Abrot. Villegas sends it to Palisok. Well, that's something that we haven't seen from Palisok in the first 2 sets. Let's see if that can build some momentum for him.
Oh, and they're capable of doing that every time they get a better first ball.
Silang sets up Gampong. It's short.
The errors of Cotabato, the attack errors of Cotabato is coming from their attacks wherein they're trying to really go deep cross court. Really trying to showcase very difficult angles here.
Back-to-back points already for Vanguard to cut the lead down to 1. Free ball for the white shirts. Villegas. The combination play is blocked.
The combination play on the side of Vanguard was definitely read well by the blockers of Cotabato. No one going there with the middle attacker. Everyone jumping with Palisok in that sequence.
Sumagaysay keeping his hands up. Villegas, tough set. A bit close to the net.
Too close and too short for Palisok. It was a difficult set for him to score a point.
Desuyo checks back in for Villegas as the setter. Sumagaysay has reached double digits now, Ayel.
Already 10 points for Sumagaysay from 5 attacks, 3 blocks, and 2 service aces.
Quality performance from the captain. Jao Umandal flies by.
But talking about quality, Jao Umandal just showing us his powers, elevation. So much talent for this player in the Cotabato side as Vanguard calls a timeout.
14-10 is the score. Timeout called by Vanguard.
Ikaw, hindi pa nagsalita dyan. Eh, nakita ko, nakaharap ka ron eh. Di ba? So nakita mo siya, dapat lumapit ka lang, isang side lang yun, talon, tulong, okay? Kasi alam mo naman, nakikita nyo yung nangyayari, kaya lang, hindi lang kayo agad nagre-react. So pag nakita, galaw agad, kilos agad, ha? Go.
Pre. Hey, Vanguard!
Coach Edget there reminding his players that they are able to read the attacks of Cotabato well, but they're not able to react. So we saw that Mark Alfafara there trying to do statistics for Cotabato.
Na medyo nagulantang sila because parang na-scout sila din ng onte. But that's our production team getting the job done on all angles. 14-10 here in set number 3. And a free ball for Cotabato. Here comes the spike from JV Sumagaysay.
Sumagaysay contributing from the back row. And it's not very usual that the middle attacker goes for a pipe attack. But Sumagaysay, very effective in that combination play.
He will be the one to serve a short one. Almost an ace. Another easy pickings. The setup to Mandal. They are going crazy here in set number 3.
Cotabato trying to be creative here as they are in a comfortable spot as we see that set from Medina to Omandal. Omandal just powering through the blockers.
16-10 in favor of AMC Cotabato. Second technical timeout. Back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. We resume action with a service ace from Captain JV Sumagaysay, who has been stellar here in this match. We've seen pipe attacks and then that service ace from him.
A very consistent and efficient game for Sumagaysay so far.
Desuyo goes to Palisok. And it's a violation on the part of Cotabato.
Mandal there touching the net as he was pressing his hands in to block that ball.
Kamag-anakan will serve. This is Gampong. And it japs for Mads Gampong. And a series of substitutions coming in for Cotabato Spikers.
As Gampong there, powering through the blockers of Vanguard. Giving Zao Mandal big help in terms of scoring production also. But so far with Cotabato, it has been really a team effort in terms of scoring production.
Yeah. Dayan Dante will be the one to serve. Ooh. Mishit by Dayan Dante. And that was way short. Palitan din ng tao for the Vanguard volley hitters as Villegas replaces Desuyo. Palisok will be the one to serve, 12-18. Dayan Dante tosses it to Rotor. Blockers were there. Back row attack does not work. Here comes AMC, the drop by Umandal.
And Umandal, it's very hard to read his attack because at most times you'll get intimidated by his form. But in that sequence, it was so obvious that he was just gonna push the ball in, but still no coverage on the side of Vanguard.
That's when you know everything is working well for Cotabato.
Another mishit there. And that serve from Umandal didn't have the best contact to that ball.
13 serving 19 here in the third set. Fernandez with the serve. Here comes Roeder down the line.
That was a very deep down the line attack from Roeder.
But Vanguard will look to challenge that one and see if it was ball in or ball out yung atake na yun ni Steven Roeder.
And with Router, it seems so hard to defend these balls because walang spin yung bola niya. A lot of times it's flat ball.
Oh, that's inside. So a 7-point lead for the Cotabato Spikers. And Intal will be the one to serve. He's had a good game at the service line in this match. That one is a point for Vanguard off the block.
But abroad there, just being smart, using the hands of the blocker to score that point.
Dayandante tried to switch it to the other side and it was an error.
That was hard for him to control because he didn't have control of the momentum of his body at first. So it was very difficult to go for that reverse set.
Lead is down to 5. We go back to Steven, the off speed. Saved by Vanguard. And then they turn it into a point. Courtesy of Joves Kamaganakan.
A much needed point there on the side of Vanguard.
Vanguard have scored 3 straight to cut the lead to 4. Good serve once again. Roeder for the attack and the kill.
Roeder here showing some versatility. Went down the line earlier, went for off speed. Now going for the cross-court attack, using his height and his elevation to score that point. And that last contact and wrist action, putting so much speed on that ball.
Let's see if his service... Ooh, he has yet to send a service in. Four-point lead, they misreceive from Medina. And lead is down to 3 points. This is the closest Vanguard has come to here in set number 3 since the start of it. Roeder this time, it's short.
That set was too low for Roeder.
Just 2 points away itong Vanguard volley hitters. At the best receive as well, Mendiola goes to Medina. It's outside. And here come the Vanguard volley hitters. Will Coach Oji Mamon press the panic button? Looks like he won't. He wants the players to play through it. Discover how they will get back. And a check finally for Wewe Medina.
Now Medina making up for that attack error earlier. Using the spaces between the blockers to score that point. But Cotabato could not and should not relax here. Because Vanguard is just 2 points away in closing this gap.
They swing it to the left side. Then another point. Razel Palisok. Teodones will enter the game to replace Diwa at the service line. Just 1 point away itong Vanguard. They climbed all the way after being down by 7. Good serve there. Dayandante goes to Umandal. And Jao able to deliver.
Oh, but Umandal wants to finish this ball game early. Now credit that point to the great setting of Dayandante there. Only one blocker, so much space for that cross-court attack. So Bagaysay pulling in the middle blocker with him.
JV with the serve. Good first ball. Villegas goes to Palisok. And some razzle-dazzle from Palisok with that point.
So Palisok there, attacking on top of the blockers. Challenging the floor defense of Cotabato.
Back to a one-point game. Kamag-anakan to serve. Ooh, costly error. Puts Cotabato at set, or at match point rather.
Very costly there.
It will be Kim Dayandante doing the serving duties to try and finish off the match.
Oh,
But not just yet, says the serving gods.
both teams struggling on the service line.
All-important serve for Palisok. No room for error. And it's through. Almost an ace. Rotor to finish it off. And the win for AMC Cotabato Spikers as they get their 7th, which means they are now through to the semifinals. Take a look at this once again, Ayel.
They're sprinting to get that second touch, and Rotor there just putting all his power to score that point.
The exclamation point, the debut for Steven Rotor, and a dub for the Cotabato Spikers, winning in straight sets over the Vanguard Volley Hitters. We will be back to wrap this one up here on One Sports Plus.
You're still watching the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2023, and what a game that was to end today's triple header. Of course, we have the AMC Cotabato Spikers winning in just 3 sets. Of course, the best player of the game is Kapitan JV Sumagaysay. Hello, JV.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Now, JV, I remember sinabi mo sa akin before this conference na hindi ka masyadong vocal na captain, you're a quiet captain, but today, your performance spoke for you. So, I'd like to know, now na palapit na yung semifinals, last 2 games na for you guys, are you elevating your performance dahil dito?
Ayan, tinataas namin yung laro namin, lalo na meron kaming 3 remaining games this elimination kasama to. So, ang goal namin is itama yung mga pagkakamali namin, lalo na nung natalo kami sa game namin against Signal.
Yes, wake-up call nga daw,
Yes.
sabi ni Head Coach Oji sa akin. Now, of course, you have a new player in Steven Rotor. Could you talk to me about him? How was the adjustments with him, yung chemistry niya, even if he's coming from an American system? Kamusta naman siya?
Yan, unang-una, bagong player, lalo na ngayon lang siya nakita dito sa Pilipinas, and ito yung gusto namin ipakita at i-showcase pa na meron pang dapat abangan sa men's volleyball dito sa Pilipinas.
Yes, of course. A lot to look forward to. Thank you so much, JV, and congratulations. Once again, this is JV Sumagaysay of the AMC Cotabato Spikers, our best player of the game. Back to you, Depanayal.
Thank you, Ayana, for that interview, and our best player of the game, Captain JV Sumagaysay, with, of course, that interview giving us an outlook. Ano ba bang aabangan sa Cotabato Spikers? And so exciting, Ayel. He mentioned their new player and also, of course, I'm sure they learned from that loss against Signal. Gusto nilang iangat pa yung laro nila moving forward.
And their system is definitely working well for them. Those fast, low sets really putting a lot of pressure on the defense of their opponent as it is working well, and everyone contributing in the scoring department. Sumagaysay with 12 points, but again, getting a lot of help from Umandal, Ental, Gampong even, and their big addition, Roter right now, and Silang and Dante also doing well in the playmaking. But on the side of Vanguard, they tried to rally in the third set, but again, it wasn't enough as they made very crucial errors on the service line, giving away those 3 points to allow Cotabato to get the third set.
Right. Alas dumikit pa nga yung Vanguard though towards the latter part. A string of errors for Cotabato and then Vanguard turning it into gold. But ultimately, it was Cotabato escaping with the win. Again, these are the numbers in set number 3.
Now, Cotabato still dominating in the attacking department with 15, only 9 for Vanguard. 3 blocks, 3 big blocks for Cotabato, none for Vanguard. 2 service aces for Cotabato, 1 for Vanguard, and even Cotabato giving away a lot of free points in 13, Vanguard only with 5.
Right, and those are the numbers for the set number 3. Cotabato winning this one in straight sets, and games will continue on Wednesday, March 15, still here at the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. Army will go up against VNS at 3 p.m. and then at 5:30 Navy will clash with the NU Archipelago Volley Builders. And that does it for our coverage this Sunday. Thank you for joining us for this triple header. On behalf of my partner Ayel Estranero, our courtside reporter Ayana Perlas, my name is Dip Dipianco saying thank you for watching, and please continue to support the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference.